going on, everybody? Another episode of the Honor Roll Society podcast. And if you're wondering, wonder why you call it the Honor Roll Society? It is because one of my favorite Drizzy Drake lyrics is discussing life and all our common goals, smart kids and smoke weed, honor roll. So, I took that idea and said, hey, I enjoy a little bit of Mary Jane, and I like to learn. So, let's make a podcast about that. So, today is the 5th of July, which, by my account, is about a month and a half from the time we actually were independent. I know July 4th is Independence Day, 1776, but it wasn't until, I believe, mid-August until we actually were signed, sealed, and delivered independent from the Great Britain. More like Good Britain. But, yeah, anyway, so today I'm going to do a little chatting while I'm driving. And I'm just going to talk about, what it means to think something, believe something, and know something. Because what I see a lot is people somehow can be very, very confident and very, very sure of themselves when they're telling you that, hey, this statement I'm saying is a true statement, and here's why, and they can make, logical arguments, have valid points, use common sense, all that stuff. But there is such thing as anecdotal evidence, which means, it might be something might be true as far as something, experience you've had or whatever, but that doesn't make it a scientific fact. So when you say you know something, that just means you believe it. But the funny thing is you can believe something that is not true, and you can, believe it, and till the day you die. You can believe it to be true, and it can be true to you. I guess the example I'll lead with is religion. There are many different religions, and everybody that is part of each of those religions believes that they are right in believing what they believe, and if you don't believe what they believe, then you're wrong. And what's funny is this will lead to people having such strong convictions, but most people just don't take the time to say, alright, if I am right, what evidence can I draw upon to assure myself that I'm right, or to assure others that I'm right? But the biggest problem of I don't know, what things, debate things, talk about things, is that people have a hard time dealing with the fact that we're wrong about a lot of things because we're ignorant to a lot of things. New technology, new information is always popping up. So changing your mind or coming to the realization that something you thought was true is not true, or something you profess to the mountaintops is something you shouldn't even have whispered. But all that is just a part of a journey of understanding, how to not just form an opinion, but to but really to be able to understand why you have the opinion and why your opinion on whatever subject is worth having, so you can be in discussions about stuff. People, for some reason, when you show them scientific evidence or explain to them in very simplistic terms, they for some reason seem to double down and discredit it, and then it leads to them saying, but not verbatim saying, that they know more than scientists or people who are experts in whatever field or topic. They will discredit them. And what's funny is that even when people can say, hey, here's a doctor or a scientist that agrees with this opinion that I have of blank, and then they just stop there because, hey, there's a smart person who agrees with them, so why would they spend their time trying to make sure that they're actually right? It's like, all right, I think it's probably true that when it rains, the water level will rise in a pond. It makes sense that would happen. If you have a cup of water and you just start slowly dripping water over a period of time, there will be more water in there. But then you think about, well, what if there's a pond down in the Amazon or Seattle or that's about, I guess, the only two places I know that are not known for heavier, for rainfall. But just for this example, when you think about it, all right, if it rains in an area where there's a pond, there will be more water in that pond, of course. And then that's just where they stop. They're just like, well, duh, like there's going to be more water in there. But then you ask them, well, why doesn't, if it rains all the time there, wouldn't it just, overflow, flood? And, a lot of places, are definitely flood territory and do flood a lot. But the whole point of me using this analogy is that there's no consideration of thought, no mentioning anything about, hey, also water evaporates. So yes, while it may rain on a body of water, and it might rain for a period of time to where it will flood, But eventually, that water will lower, and it won't just stay at the same level because the sun will evaporate the water. And when people kind of think like this, like, yeah, they know that, the sun causes water to evaporate. And what happens? Moisture gets in the air, clouds form, and more rain comes. They know that, but they just kind of like block it out of their brain and try to like give you some other explanation as to why water, will eventually lower. And it's never based, it's never backed by any sort of scientific evidence or anything. And that's to me, that's the biggest problem, is that in 2019 we have an incredible opportunity because we live in a time where the internet exists. Google is so awesome, and we only use it when, I don't know, for stupid things. And for some reason, rather than use it, to actually learn more things or, get a better understanding of things, we just say, yeah, it's, when, during July, or June, July, August, September-ish, that's hurricane season. But, and that's something most people know. Or at least if they think about it, like, oh, okay, I guess that's usually when I see on the news and Weather Channel that hurricanes are forming. But then ask them, why do hurricanes form? Why do tropical storms form? And if I had to bet, I would say less than 50% of high school graduates could tell you, or even kind of come up with a decent idea of how tropical storms and hurricanes and stuff like that actually form. And as someone who will acknowledge that I know very little and am very stupid, I do know that the reason hurricanes and tropical storms form during certain times of the year because of the weather. So during the winter time, water and wind and all that stuff, climate around certain parts of the ocean, the way to whatever. I'm an idiot, like I said. But what I do know is that once you start having some warm fronts and water starts heating up, this causes a little bit of science that says, hey, this is some warm stuff and cold stuff mixing with a bunch of water. Hey, we're going to storm this out. And we're going to take a quick commercial break. Be right back.